obviously, one of the biggest pieces of news going around in the world of movies, and it will be continuing to be one of the big things probably for the next couple of months, is, the formation of DC Studios, James Gunn and Peter Safran becoming the new CEOs of that new thing, guiding it creatively and all that kind of stuff. Now, also, if you go back a couple of years, when they announced that they were doing a Joker standalone movie, you guys will know, if you followed me since the movie blog days, I've said for many, many, many years that I really wish that these cinematic universes, DC and Marvel, would have the coconuts to spin off and do like some standalone Elseworld kind of movies. That not every effing thing has to be in shared cinematic universe. The comics didn't do it that way. So why does everything? Because you handcuff yourself creatively. I love the cinematic universes, I do, but tell some stories that give the creators some leeway and some flexibility to tell some really different kind of stories and go, well, that's a great sounding story, but we can't do it because it contradicts with our shared cinematic universe. So when they announced that they were doing a Joker movie, I lost my mind. I'm like, that's awesome. And then all the people said, what the hell is that bug flying around in here? Then when all the people said, well, no one's going to care about a Joker movie if Batman's not in it. Oh, yeah? How about $1 billion, an Academy Award win, and a nomination for Best Picture? How'd that work out? Worked out pretty damn well. It's great. Now we've got Robert Pattinson's Batman, right? It's a separate Elseworlds kind of thing. Well, nobody will care about it if a Superman is in the same universe. Oh, yeah? I made an ass load of money in one of the best films of the year. So it can work. It can be done well. Well, will they carry that into the new DCU? Well, here's what's coming out now. Apparently, a user on Twitter, and James Gunn is very active in responding to people on Twitter. A user on Twitter, you can scroll down a little bit for this, Jonathan, wrote to James Gunn and asked, are you open to producing any Elseworlds DC properties that aren't set in the DCU? It's a little bit higher. It might take a second for it to appear there. So again, they wrote to him, are you open to producing any Elseworlds DC properties that aren't set in the DCU? And James Cameron just shortly, sweetly said, that is actively happening. So
James Gunn said that.
James Gunn says that is
You said James Cameron.
Did I say Cameron?
Yeah.
James Cameron is also getting into the DC films. No, James Gunn says that is actively happening. We're going to be talking about James Cameron a little bit later in the show. I got him on the brain. So look, there's two different ways you can look at this. One is that he's talking about, well, Joker 2 and the next Robert Pattinson Batman movie. Those are Elseworld things. They are actively happening. It's not like we came in here, we're going to kill those projects. These things are great. Or you can take it as him saying, oh, no, we are actively putting together other individual standalone stories that'll be outside of the DCEU, as well as an active interior. I think the truth is both. I think he's both referring to the fact that, hey, look, we've already got Joker and Joker's happening. And we already got Robert Pattinson's Batman. We're going to get more of those. And I think he's saying we are going to get other things. Now, will this mean some brand new original creative stories? Maybe. Does it mean taking some of the great Elseworld stories like Red Sun, which is like one of the best Elseworld stories ever? And we know he's got a respect and a passion for Superman. So maybe something like that. I don't know. But Chris, as somebody who really values the idea of having movies that are in a big connected shared universe, like in the comics, and also having some one-shot creative stories free from the shared cinematic universe, like the comics, I hear this. I'm very, very excited about this. I wish Marvel had the balls to do something like this too, but they're so afraid to move outside of there. Well, everything has to be connected or the viewers might reject us. Have some balls, man. Anyway, what do you think about this comment from James Gunn?
I love this. And to your point too, yeah, we're already seeing Elseworlds because we know we're going to have things that aren't interconnected. And we've been saying that for ages on this show. We talked about this on Weekly Hero a couple weeks ago too, of the way to move forward is to just tell great stories. They don't have to be connected. They just have to be great. And if they connect to other things, rad. If they don't, rad as well. You're going to have a fun time, right? And Elseworlds, I mean, people forget too, some of the biggest stories in comic books come from those kinds of imprints. Kingdom Come is Elseworlds.
Yeah.
You know, if we could get some kind of Batman Darkest Night at some point, that would be really, really rad. Red Sun, to your point too, is a really great story that wouldn't fit into a connected universe because that completely retcons how Clark became Superman and everything, right? He's born in Russia instead. So I feel like there's a lot of really cool things you can do here, and it allows your filmmakers to play in the sandbox without so many rigid parameters, because I think that's something that honestly has hurt Marvel as of late, is that, well, we have to follow this blueprint, we have to have all this, and they all have to know each other and everyone is connected. No, a lot of superheroes are operating on their own time in their own universe. If you can multiverse stuff, you can do this, and you can do this honestly much more effectively because there's actual consequences.
I'm going to say something here. It's going to make some people in this room excited, but I believe it. You know what this really opens the door for? Batman Beyond.
Sure does, John. Sure stinking does.
This, if you want to do Batman Beyond, this is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. And it opens that door. And I wouldn't be completely surprised if Batman Beyond in the back of James Gunn's head is one of those things he was referring to and says it's already actively happening. So I no insider information. James Gunn has told me nothing.
I'm not falling for it, John. I'm not falling for this shit.
Yeah, let's start bandwagon guy over here. Oh, Batman Beyond. Yeah, I think it's gonna happen.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying this. If you're going to do it, this is the way to do it.
This could also give us our very campy kind of Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. We could get that as well, because that's what I've always wanted. I want that kind of Nathan Fillion, Alan Tudyk version of those two being those characters.
Yeah.
Now I will accept nothing else.
Right?
Damn it, Chris.
I know.
Now that you've put that in my head, I will accept nothing else.
It'll probably be on HBO Max too, which will make it better. It won't be like a CW thing.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I
my
meant like
beloved Atari.
No, I'm with
like
you.
a series.
For sure, for sure.
Something like that would
Yeah.
be better as a series, I
Yeah.
think.
That's an expensive series.
Wow.
Anyway, Rob, we've talked for many years about the benefits or the risks of doing like standalone Elseworld kind of films plus your shared cinematic universe. You hear James Gunn's comments. What do you think he's implying when he says this?
I think exactly that. I mean, we've got examples of the Joker film being very successful. And there's no reason why, because the DC universe has so many rich stories. There's even stories of all the main characters, not just Red Sun, but everything from Gotham by Gaslight, Batman fights vampires, Batman becomes a vampire. And they've got so many different, that leaves also the doorway open to do more horror stuff that doesn't necessarily have to link back to the DC universe. I mean, even though you see in Sandman, like House of Secrets and things like that, they could do all kinds of things. I really hope that they use the Elseworlds moniker to brand these movies. I would love to see, like a DC logo, DC Elseworlds at the front of these films. I think that'd be really cool. So that would delineate, you would know that the DC Universe films are DC Universe movies and that the Elseworlds movies are something else. I think that could be really cool. And that could be part of their brand that they would get people excited about. Because there's so many characters that they could delve into that is not part of their big group, Justice League adjacent, whatever, that they could delve into. They had an offshoot press called Piranha Press. It was part of DC, and they published a comic called Beautiful Stories for Ugly Children. And they were really wonderful stories. It was like an anthology comic. I would love to see them do that, like turn that into a series or something. There's so many different DC offshoots that they could do things with. I'm excited to see where they're going with all this.
And you're talking about the success of Joker, the overwhelming success of the Batman and stuff like that. When you have these standalone things separate from your shared cinematic universe that are all more successful than your shared cinematic universe, that's a pretty big flag that it's time for you to reset your shared cinematic
Exactly.
universe.
Yes.
I mean, it's like, because clearly, look, people still love these characters, right? People still clearly love these characters. It's this movie universe that you've created that people don't seem to care about anymore. So when you're doing these standalone things are more successful. Anyway, pretty good sign that maybe it's time to reboot maybe. Anyway, guys, question is for you. James Gunn is saying, yeah, we're already actively developing some Elseworld stuff. We're going to get a DC world of movies that have one big connected shared cinematic universe and individual creative stories going along, like movies like The Batman and Joker and other things they can create, where the filmmakers will have real freedom without having to worry about whether they're consistent with the DC shared cinematic universe. I personally think it's great, but maybe you're one of those people that feels like not everything should be interconnected. Whatever you guys feel or think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Manscaped. This holiday season, I'll be giving thanks to our friends over at Manscaped. Everyone loves turkey and stuffing, but you'll be looking like dessert with the help of Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0. The leaders in below-the-waist grooming have blessed you with the ultimate Thanksgiving dinner topic. Tell your in-laws about your new cutting-edge ball trimmer and gift yourself or the man in your life the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Trim up your pumpkins by going to manscaped.com and use the code CAMPEA for free shipping and 20% off. And this year I am so thankful for Manscaped because, like most of you guys, I used to use Neanderthalic Dark Age methods to trim my balls. Not anymore, thanks to Manscaped. It's time for all of us to give thanks to Manscaped Performance Package 4.0, or as I like to call it, the perfect package for your package. Inside, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all your goodies. The heart of the package, their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code CAMPEA at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the promo code CAMPEA. Be thankful this holiday season for the best gift of all from Manscaped. Your balls will thank you.